Alright, hello everyone, my name is Justin Dario. Today we're going to be looking at my presentation titled Disaster to Delight. Basically we're going to be using the 5S Lean method to clean up my computer desk and get it ready for the big move when I get my own apartment in the summer. So a little bit of background overview. So someone who loves PC gaming, I often find my desk cluttered with a ton of things that are distracting that can also be annoying. So for example, like looking at my desk right now, I have rubber bands, extra computer mice, cables, and sometimes random items that I just get throughout the day. I just throw it on my desk just for like an easy place to store it. So I'm getting a new apartment in the summer and getting ready for the big move. I want to kind of organize it since I'm going to have to pack everything up and then put it all right back in. So what better way to implement an organization strategy with the 5S? So hopefully my desk can be tamed. I've never really cleaned it before that much. I've sometimes done it a little bit, but every time it'll just slowly go back to normal and messy. So hopefully with this discipline and the 5S, I can hopefully keep it under control for a little bit longer. Alright, so looking at a picture of my desk right here, you can see I have a whole bunch of just random crap just kind of laying around. I have extra cables sticking out, wires that are coming through the monitors. I just also have random things too as well. And then my headphones and then my computer mouse is just kind of just randomly just placed. So it's not really organized. Then here's probably the worst of it all, just the underground. Basically underneath it, just all the cables and everything. So everything in a computer basically is always plugged in. So the cables kind of just tend to make their way and just get tangled and everything. So these always just hit my feet. And really get in the way. So hopefully I can really organize these and get them straightened out and get them a little bit organized, because right now I do admit they do bother me, and sometimes my feet hit them and sometimes I can snag a cable like out of where it's supposed to be. So this is really where I need to implement the 5S methodology to kind of help save me. So of course 5S: sort, straighten, shine, standardize, and sustain. So sort, keeping only the necessary items in the workspace. Straighten is arrange items to promote efficient workflow. Shine, of course, is to clean the work area so that it's neat and tidy. Standardize is to set standards for a consistently organized workspace. And then finally is sustain it, so maintain and review standards to make sure you're not slowly going back to where you came from. Alright, so up first of 5S we have sort, of course. So in order to begin, I need to take a look at all the items on top of and below my desk and decide whether they are absolutely needed. So kind of overviewing and looking at things. Of course, the important items are the speakers, the monitors, the computer itself, the headphones, also the keyboard, everything like that. The secondary items, stuff I don't really use or sometimes might use, are like all the extra cables. So I always attach HDMI or VGA cables in and out, and I'm always switching and upgrading, so I don't really have a place to put them, so I usually just throw them on my desk or underneath. So those aren't really needed all the time. Of course, like all the random items, so all the easy to throw items on the desk when I get home and stuff. So like a Spider-Man pen I found. I think my dad got that for me. We have zip ties around to help kind of with cables a little bit. I also have an old computer mouse that I have that I don't have place for, so I just keep it up here. And also like a headset attachment. Like I don't use that at all, but it's just kind of in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label all the important items. I'm going to make an Excel sheet just because I'm not moving right now. So I'm going to label all the important items, and then all the secondary items, I'm actually just going to put them in a big storage tub. That way, since I'm not using them right now, and when I move, I can just pick up the tub and then just bring it into my new apartment. And then if I really need to, I can go back in and then decide if I need any of the secondary items to be important items or anything. But for right now, they're just going to be in the tub. Alright, so straighten. Like I said, all the secondary items, I'm just going to place those in a little plastic storage tub. Those are easy. I can just buy those at Meijer. Also, I'm going to place all of my important items. They're going to be placed in a matter of convenience. So for example, I use my headphones all the time when I'm on my computer. So I actually just purchased a headphone stand from Amazon. It was like 15 bucks. Kind of looks like the picture down below. Basically, that'll just help me kind of keep them off the desk itself, so they'll attract less dust. Also, the amount of times I've snagged my headphones or got them caught on like my hand or something getting off the desk has been way more than I can count. So hopefully this will just help me keep the headphones kind of out of the way, and then also just helps reduce them breaking. And then also I'm going to put all the top desk wires, also all the bottom ones too, through those little cable organizers, which is like that picture right there. Basically you can just feed all the cables through one section, so it's like a big Velcro, basically like a band-aid, so you just wrap all the cables in there and then you can just feed them through. That way they're not all like just out at the bottom, so they can just slowly just be like bunched up, and that way they'll won't tangle and everything like that. Alright, so up next is the most important one for me. It's called Shine. So this is also the most dreadful one too, because everything's on my desk, so I have to take all of it off and then make sure I clean everything down. So even though I'm not moving yet, I wanted to force myself to actually do this part, so I'm actually going to do it. So basically I'm going to take my monitors off, take my computer, my mouse pad, my keyboard, everything on my desk, get some Lysol, get some dust rags, basically wipe everything down, disinfect it. Then I'm also going to open up my PC too, and then just like that picture, use like an air duster to blow some of the fans off with all the dust. And then my computer case also has some dust catchers that I can vacuum off to as well. So basically I'm just going to give everything a good clean. You're supposed to do this like every couple months or so. I think the last time I did it was about 6 months ago, so this gives me an excuse to do it again. Alright, so up next is standardize. So I wanted to place some rules to kind of help me organize stuff a little bit better. So the rules were, if I do not use it after 2 days, it will be removed from my desk. So sometimes I'll be working on a project or something, I'll have stuff out. I don't need it to be there, but after 2 days, if I'm not touching it, it'll be moved to my desk, put somewhere else, put away. All cables must be wrapped and put in the cable organizer. So I'm going to do my best to put all the cables wrapped around. That way they can all stay together. They can all be organized. That way I don't have any stray cables or anything sticking out. And then all those extra cables not in use, those will be labeled and they'll be placed in the storage container. That way if I'm ever looking for a VGA cable, an HDMI cable, I'll just label it when I put it away. That way I can pick and grab and see what I need, and then I can hopefully find it a little bit easier. And then also no food or drink on the desk, just to help eliminate crumbs and spills. I followed this as well, usually just because I didn't want to have any food next to my expensive computer. And I'm going to follow that really closely too when I get my own apartment as well. I don't want anything near my desk. Alright, and then to sustain it, to make sure that I follow this and make sure that it doesn't slowly creep away from me and I go back to my old ways, I work Monday through Friday. So the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, those give me a great time to reorganize my desk for the week ahead. So I want to be setting up a cleaning schedule too, to wipe off my desk and open my PC for cleaning. I usually did it like 6 months ago, like I said, but I want to try to do it every 2 months. So I'll see how that goes. I might have to do it every month. It just depends on how much dust collects in there. When I get my apartment, I'm going to try to keep it away from the wall. That way there's not a lot of dust getting trapped in the back. But as of right now, I think 2 months would be okay. So every 2 months, I'm going to take my monitors off, take everything else off, and then just disinfect my desk and then wipe it down, get all that dust off. And then also before making purchases for my PC, I'll make sure if I have open cable slots in those sleeves, just so I'm not slowly just building up and having extra cables every now and then, because if I slowly add 1 and 2 every now and then, it'll slowly add up again. I'll just have a mess of cables one more time. Alright, and finally looking at the results afterwards, all my extra items were stored and put away. So over to the side, I have a nice big tub. Just put all my extra cables and all my extra junk in there too. All cables are going to be wrapped to help eliminate tangling. So I did order some sleeves too. So I'm going to have those along the way. Like I said, I did wipe down the desk as well. So I did wipe it down, dusted it off. Did open the PC a little bit, make sure I got some of that dust off too, as well as vacuum my little dust vents in there. And then I also have the ability to focus on projects more. There is less room, or there is more room, on the sides of my desk. So I have more places to put papers or any extra stuff too, so I don't have all this extra junk kind of lying around. So I tried to find a spot for everything, but I can really implement this when I really leave and move to my apartment. So I'm actually really excited to put this into use. I was looking at the examples online and seeing people clean up their garages and stuff. It was really cool. So hopefully when I move out, I'm going to really implement this and really have a nice clean work area. that'll really catch the attention of people when they come in. They'll see it and not think it looks like a huge mess.